Good morning. Welcome to Up to the Minute. You made it to Friday, right? Long week here, but it's good to have you with us. I'm Todd Duplantis, and we've got a great show lined up for you. It is hashtag Film Friday. It's also Finally Friday. Got a couple of special guests who will be joining us, but we'll also be talking with one of our occasional co-hosts in just a few minutes. But first, my co-host this morning, Joe Sam, HCC Central Community Outreach Coordinator, is in the house. Joe, good to see you.
Nice to see you as well, Todd. And it is a great day because it's Friday. We're getting ready to kick off the weekend. But we do want to remind everyone that we are live on Houston Community College District Facebook page, not HCC. And we're also on YouTube. We're also on Twitter, LinkedIn, and on HCCTV at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. Monday through Friday. So we want to make sure that everybody is tuning in so they don't miss anything.
That's right. Did this week seem like it lasted a lifetime to you?
Because it did. I mean, and not only did it last long, but it was so hot out here in Houston. Yeah. So I stayed inside most of the time trying to make sure I kept cool. But yeah, this week was definitely a long one.
Definitely was. Well, we're glad it is finally Friday. Okay, so Joe, we've got to stick around because you're going to be talking with this next guest, Dr. Melissa Miller-Waters. She's the Director of Accreditation and Evaluation and Planning and Advisor for the Staff Senate is joining us. Melissa, good to see you.
Good morning. Great to see you all.
By the way, welcome back from your vacation. Looks like you had a great time and fabulous pictures you were posting.
Thank you. It was the trip of a lifetime for me.
I can see so. All right. So stick around. Joe is going to be with you in about 10 minutes. All right. We're going to kick things off right now. It's Film Friday, and we're having some local laughs with an upcoming film festival right here in town. Mikel Fair is joining us. He is the founder of Film Festival Circuit, which runs the Houston Comedy Film Festival. Mikel, welcome to the show.
Hi, how's it going?
It's good. It's good. Now, we're looking forward to hearing about this local film festival that you started, so to speak, launching a lot of them across the country. But let's begin with the model, as you call it, the Houston Comedy Film Festival. Tell us about that.
Well, it was our first one. Houston, I lived a long time in Houston, about 15 years, and I worked in the film industry. I worked in everything from television to movies to press, you name it. And what we used to do on the side as filmmakers that were overworked is on the weekends, we allegedly, borrow some equipment and go shoot our own little films. And the crew would make their own little short films. And that's how I learned about this whole industry. So I wanted to create a comedy for my first one. This is probably back in about 2006. I went to festivals with it. And it was kind of an uneven experience where sometimes you're in a big crowd, sometimes you're in a little theater, sometimes you were all over the place. So the model was, hey, let's play comedy with comedy. Let's play movies in a theater. And, let's play shorts with shorts. And so that was the model that really spawned my entire company. Back in 2008, we started accepting submissions, and I had no idea where we would be where we are today in 2023. I had no idea.
So 2023, when is the next festival, and where's the screening going to be taking place?
Our next Houston Comedy Film Festival will be our third of the year, actually. We do them multiple times. We'll be at the Alamo Drafthouse La Cantera, right there in Katy, right outside of Houston on the west side. We're returning there. We've had a long history with Alamo Drafthouse. We have screened at quite a few since the beginning, including West Oaks, which isn't there anymore, and Vintage Park, I think, or Vintage Oaks isn't there anymore. So yeah, we're back at Alamo. We really love the place.
And this is an event where people can see a lot of films within a shorter span of time. And we must mention these are shorts, correct? Tell us a little bit about that.
Correct. So we stick to short films. We stick to content that is 30 minutes or less. We have a 30-minute limit because there are people who want to distribute and get reactions to their television pilots. So we do have that open, sitcoms, so to speak. So we accept everything from romantic comedy, dark comedy, horror comedy, slapstick, sketch comedy, even stand-up comedy videos and recordings. We have a lot of people who cross over into the stand-up industry, especially in comedy filmmaking. And so when you sit down to watch our screening program, you watch nothing but comedy films back to back to back from directors all over the world in one huge block. It's really a lot of fun.
Let me ask you this. Have there been films over the year, TV pilots that had been picked up by their networks or by Netflix or whatever, that you can mention some of the ones that you remember over the years?
Oh, yeah. So God of Love was a film that we had. It won Best Short Film, the Houston Comedy Film Festival, went on to win the Academy Award in 2010. There's a show called Alice in Paris, which was a very successful show from France, from a great filmmaking crew out there that ended up Amazon and Hulu and quite a few places. It's still on right now. Great show. It's like a cooking show, but a cooking host. And it's so funny because people tell me they love the show. And I'm like, yeah, you know, they were at our festival just like every other filmmaker. And it was a lot of fun. And of course, you see actors that have been in a lot of things that you'd recognize, you know, actors who come from shows like The Flash and The Arrow. And, you know, we've had a film with Margaret Cho. We just, you know, we've had all kinds of films that have just kind of been all over the map. And just a lot of successful people have come through a Houston Comedy Film Festival.
And outside of Houston, what other markets that you've launched into? I know you're out there in several of them.
Well, the first one I did was Austin. And the whole point was when I moved to Austin to work in post-production, to spend more time with my family and be at home instead of be on location all the time, which that didn't happen, by the way. Post-production is actually more hours than production. Moved to Austin, and the whole intention was, I live in Austin now, so Austin Comedy Film Festival. Let's close down the Houston Comedy Film Festival. I don't feel like driving all that time. I went to close the Houston Comedy Film Festival and just keep Austin only. And we got notified that we were ranked in the top 50 in the world of film festivals worldwide for Houston. So I couldn't close that. So I became this guy opening up multiple events everywhere I went. And my wife is from Portland, Oregon. We moved there for 6 years for work. We opened up a festival in Portland, and that's all she wrote. We have 12 now. So we have festivals in the Portland and Oregon markets. We're in Houston, Austin, San Antonio. We are opening up a new event in Dallas in 2024, and we have 2 events in Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow. So it's really taken off. I mean, you mentioned this back, and you started this in 2006. Did you envision that you would be growing, it would last so long?
No idea. No idea. Back then, you know, I was in my 20s, and you know, 2006, I was working 200 and some days a year on set. And the film festival was kind of just a way for me to lose money every year and do something fun. And, you know, when I was looking back at it, I didn't have the organizational skills. We didn't know what we were doing. We were true amateurs at putting on an event. I had no idea it would lead to this. Right. But, you know, God takes you in different directions and adapts your skill levels to certain things. And I'm not on set anymore and haven't been on set since 2015 consistently anyway. And here I am doing film festivals full time.
And I understand you're looking at expanding into a horror film festival and student film festivals as well here in Texas?
Yes. So I'm looking, it's kind of in the planning stages right now, but I don't mind breaking the news, but we're going to be doing a Texas Student Film Festival. And I believe that our first location is going to be in Dallas. That's how we're going to open up that market. By naming it Texas Student Film Festival, we do have the ability to move it around. And we also have the Texas Horror Film Festival, which will be modeled after our Oregon Screams Horror Film Festival, which is a super fun event that we're going to be having in a drive-in theater up there. It's a nice traffic stopper, if you will, to show horror films at a drive-in theater. It's a lot of fun. Yeah. And man, the horror market up there is crazy. People are into it. They come dressed up. We have costume contests and stuff. It's really a lot of fun. And I want to bring that concept to Texas. I'm not sure which city I'm going to do it. I'm actually thinking about Houston. But the Texas Horror Film Festival will allow us some flexibility as well. So I plan on doing both of those in 2024 to add to our slate that we have.
There was a previous life when I worked with a production company that actually did make some small budget horror films. And this was like probably 2010. And I was surprised at how large the horror film genre is here in the state of Texas. I mean, this was 13 years ago. It was huge back then. Is it still that way?
It is. We have a festival called Austin After Dark Film Festival, which has been around since 2019. It's not exclusively horror. We play dark science fiction, my personal favorite genre. We play a lot of science fiction. We play animation. We play even suspense and drama, and necessarily things that don't have all the killing or maybe creatures or stuff that horror has in it. It's kind of a mixed bag. But horror kind of dominates the festival. And to be honest, I think that Houston is probably one of the best, most untapped horror film markets. We used to have some great festivals here. I know there's a Houston Horror Film Festival. They used to have one called Splatterfest when I was making movies, and horror is really popular. It's a very dedicated genre, but people travel. So sometimes it's hard to tell, you know, it's got its own niche. It really does.
Well, I guess after the Texas Chainsaw Massacre that, you know, kind of launched it back in the 70s, we still have a lot of them here.
Yeah, it's funny. I actually worked as a young boom operator with a guy named Wayne Bell, who was a sound mixer, and he was a very rough and tough guy who taught me how to mix sound. And he pulls me to the side one day. He says, "You better get things right with that microphone, Michael. I'm telling you what to do." If you've ever seen the original Texas horror film, if you've ever seen the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, I did the entire movie by myself with one microphone, one sound recorder. I did all the music, the score, and the sound effects. And you're holding that microphone, so go out there and make me look good.
That's got to be something. Mikel Fair is the founder of the Film Festival Circuit, Houston Comedy Film Festival. Michael, it's great to talk to you. When you do look at expanding maybe the student film festival into the Houston market, we've got a huge film school at HCC. We'd love to, I know our staff over there and faculty would love to work with you guys. So, reach out to us. We'd like to do something in the future.
We're in the planning stages, and so we'll look at that, and we definitely want to make student films a part of every festival that we do. Sometimes the content is a little mature for people who are under 18, but HCC group, we'd love to tap in. Let's keep talking about it for sure.
Sounds good. Michael, thanks for being here. Have a great weekend and continued success.
It's my pleasure. Thank you, and enjoy your weekend.
All right, Film Friday, folks. We're going to move on to another subject. We've got Joe Sam standing by with Dr. Melissa Miller-Waters. Take it away, Joe.
Absolutely, Todd. I am looking forward to the horror that he's bringing to Texas because I am a huge horror buff. But moving away from horror into drama, the drama of elections, we want to talk to Dr. Melissa Miller-Waters, the HCC Director of Accreditation, Evaluation, and Planning, and advisor for the Staff Senate. Welcome to the show, Melissa. It's so good to have you.
Thank you so much for having me. Good morning.
Absolutely. So, of course, these elections that are coming up are a big, big deal for our staff. And since we already have a faculty senate, we want to start off by telling us a little bit more about the role of a senator. Can you explain that for us?
Sure. So this is our first time out. There's been a design team that has been working really hard recently to help get this Senate, to help it stand up. So first of all, people who are eligible to be a senator must be a full-time or part-time employee who's not paid on the executive scale. Both exempt and non-exempt are eligible. So the duties of a senator would be to attend all of the staff senate meetings, probably commit to 4 to 6 hours a month on this work, on the work of the staff senate and the business of the staff senate, actively participate in committees and subcommittees and groups. Most importantly, a senator must be ready to disseminate any information that they're getting at those staff meetings, at the staff senate meetings, to the staff at their college or division so that everybody sort of is on the same page and knows what's going on. A staff senator should interact with staff so that they can bring any issues, concerns, or ideas back to the staff senate. And lastly, they should participate in staff and campus events.
Wow.
Also, yeah, it's a lot.
They have a big job.
They have a big job. And here's news that probably won't be surprising, but I want to let everybody know sort of up front. People should know that serving as a senator is excellent college-wide service. It's going to benefit all of us to have all of those voices at the table. But like faculty senators, it's not compensated. So just be aware that this is a service role that's going to be good for all of us. Yeah.
It's going to be good for all of us, and it's going to be experience for them as well. But for those people who are looking to get that experience, talk about self-nominations because they can nominate themselves for this process, correct?
Correct. There's going to be, you can nominate yourself or you can nominate a colleague. I want to back up a little bit to sort of give you a sense of the framework that's emerging as the design team works. They've been hard at work thinking through the makeup of a staff senate with the goal to have representation from both campus locations and divisions. So they worked pretty closely with talent engagement to research how many people work where and in what division. And then based on those results, they've created a framework just to start out. So at this point, they've allocated Senate seats based on the number of staff, both full and part-time, in a division and at a location. So at this point, they've allocated, I know this is fancy math. It's fancy math Friday.
I was going to say, you're going to have to break it down for everyone.
That's right. So at this point, they've allocated one senator for a category that has up to 50 employees. For those that have employees from 51 to 100, they get 2 senators. For those that are 101 to 200, they get 3, and 200 and above get 4. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Then there's going to be so this is another thing that is really interesting, is this year we're going to elect half the body for a 2-year term. And then next year we'll elect the other half of the body for a 2-year term, so that as the Senate rolls, there will always be some incoming senators and some senators who have consistency, so that they can kind of maintain knowledge, work, and all of that kind of things.
Right.
So for nominations, you can nominate a colleague.
Just part of the process. Then we're going to get into the voting of it all, because that's going to be the next step of the process.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So you can nominate yourself. You can nominate a colleague. This time around, we're going to have people who are willing to commit this time. It's going to be a lot of work this first time out, writing a constitution, creating bylaws, figuring out how all of these things are going to work going forward. So self-nominations is a really good way to go. Staff members who are going to seek to run will also upload a letter of support from their managers and supervisors. And that will indicate that their managers and supervisors know the kind of work and time commitment that they're on board with all of that, so that everything is copacetic going out. So our aim is to open nominations July the 24th. So it's coming up real quick, week after next.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's coming fast. So we really want to give people as much information as possible so they can go out there and make the most informed decision. So speaking of that, how can staff vote for those people that are not getting nominated?
I mean, great question. All staff may vote in the elections, and we're going to do it electronically. So those eligible to a vote will receive ballots via email. It's very similar to the way that faculty vote for senators, but also that faculty vote for their chairs and associate chairs. So voting is going to be confidential. The ballots are going to be specific to an employee, so people will be able to vote once, and they won't be able to forward or share their ballot in that kind of way. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll keep it protected. And just to remind people again, let us know again when those elections are.
Okay, so the nomination process is going to take place July the 24th and 28th through the 28th, and the week after are going to be the elections.
Oh, perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
This is going to be exciting for a lot of people, because we're going to be able to learn more about what they plan on doing and a service that they're looking to provide. I love when election period comes around, because then you get to see the amount of passion that people have to serve their community and serve the people that are on their campuses. So this is going to be an exciting process for not only those that are getting nominated, but for those who are voting as well. And I know you're excited about it.
I'm so excited. I mean, it's when we look back at our history at HCC, there has certainly been over time, especially among frontline employees and among faculty, a real effort to have all of the right voices at the table, so that we can have all of the perspectives that we need to make the best decisions. So when I look back at the long 50-year history of HCC, it's a little astonishing that we didn't already have a staff senate, right? I mean, we have COPA, and they're doing really good work, but this kind of effort to represent all of the voices across the college who work so hard to support our students, I think it's just, I'm so excited about it. I think it's one of the best things that we've charted to do in the past few years.
Melissa, it really, really is. And I know that for people who are still looking to learn more about the role of a senator, because this is a show, so we have a limited amount of time to talk about it. You guys are going to be going more into depth about it with these online webinar for people who are looking to learn more about that. Can you talk to us a little bit more about the online webinar and how people can get involved in that?
Sure. Next week, probably starting on Tuesday, but maybe Monday, there are going to be 2 kinds of webinars. There's going to be sessions for people who are interested in serving as a senator, and there's going to be sessions for managers and supervisors who want to know more about what their direct reports are going to be doing in this. So later today or Monday, you know how it goes with messages. People will receive a communication that will give them the details about the webinars that will be available next week, and then communications rolling into nominations and then elections and then all of that.
Perfect. Melissa, we are looking forward to the elections. We are looking forward to all of the nominations that are going to be coming in. I know you have a lot of work to do, so we're not going to keep you too much longer. Thank you so much for joining us today. Again, this is Dr. Melissa Miller Waters, the Director of Accreditation, Evaluation, and Planning, and Advisor for the Staff Senate. We're going to have all your info in our post after the show. I know you're going to have a good weekend too.
Thank you. You too.
This all happens.
Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye. Thanks, Melissa. Good to see you. All right, we're going to get back into some announcements before we wrap up this Friday show. Subs and Sandwiches are back with Skanska. HCC and MBDA are bringing back their popular Subs and Sandwiches series, and it's hosted this time by Skanska. 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Wednesday, July 19th. It is a virtual WebEx edition. Check our post after the show for all the registration information. And Joe, we've got something out there for something called Fempreneurs.
Yeah, Fempreneurs. It's called 7 Lessons from Successful Women. Now, it can seem like a good time for women to start a business, but some might lack confidence to take risks. So this virtual workshop offers some tips for all of them out there. It's going to be happening from noon to 1:30 p.m. on Wednesday, July 19th, and it's hybrid, so people have an opportunity to join in. We're going to also have the registration info in a post after our show, Todd.
Yeah, and there's also, we all summer long, we've been having some summer STEM camps literally across the district. And the final one is coming up. It's time to schedule session 4 of HCC's digital and IT summer camps for middle-aged and high school students. Get this, the week-long camp even includes lunch. So the kids go away for a week, they learn some skills, they get a lunch out of it. It's a good deal. Session 4, July 24th through 28th. This one is covering drones, drone technology, and Apple Swift coding. It's happening out at our Missouri City campus. Check our post after the show for more information and for registering the kids for this final camp. And we've got summer dance classes happening too.
I'm ready to go ahead and get my dance on, Todd, as you can already see. This is going to be happening for teens and adults. It's HCC's community learning program, and it's continuing its classes for teens and adults to accompany its kids for senior and senior courses as well. Now, these classes include tap, jazz, and Middle Eastern belly dances, which is something that's interesting for a lot of people. Those are going to be happening Tuesdays and Saturdays through August 8th and 12th at the HCC Spring Branch campus. And of course, we're going to have that registration on our post after the show. We're going to have the times, the fees, everything that you need to know for these cha-cha dance classes.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. Instagram One College Exhibition. That's going on as well. It's a link. It's a free link. You can just simply view the exhibition through August 14th. It's throughout the summer. Instagram will continue to serve as gallery walls for an exhibition of studio classes from all colleges across the HCC system. We'll have that link in our post after the show. And Joe, I know out there at Central, registration's a big deal. It's hard to believe we were already into summer session 2. So you can't register for that, but you can register for the fall right now.
Absolutely. It is flying by, and we really want people to get out there and register. It is open, but summer classes have closed. All classes offer in-person and online options. We have online anytime, online on a schedule, hybrid, in-person, and hybrid lab. So to learn more about the HCC programs, start dates, and options to cover costs, you can visit hccs.edu/apply. We really want everyone to get out there and apply for the fall. We want to bring in that enrollment and really see a lot of happy faces coming to our campuses.
We're looking forward to that. Hard to believe we're already talking fall 2020.
Yeah.
Where did the summer go? Joe, let me ask you this. How long have you been with HCC now?
I am going on, believe it or not, a year now so far.
Wow.
So it's really exciting. And I'm going to be filling in more of a bigger role because our director is moving on. So I'm going to be working a couple of things to make sure that all the things that we have coming up get done. So it's going to be a fun fall and a busy fall.
It sure is. Have you decompressed yet from the news world?
Oh, still not yet. I'm still getting a
Yeah.
lot of my friends coming and talking to me that are still in the news industry. I'm still a part of HABJ, the Houston Association of
Right.
Black Journalists. So we meet up a lot throughout the weekends. We're actually meeting this weekend as well to celebrate Isaiah Carey and
Oh,
his
yeah.
show. So it's going to be a fun time, and I just love everything about working with everyone that's in the media world too.
Yeah, tell Isaiah hi, and then when
Yes.
he's ready to do that UFO show, he's going to bring me back on. So
There we go. There we go. We're going to bring in some more of those people too on the show because I know they would love to be a part of HCCTV and talk with you and learn more about what we're doing here at the campuses.
Well, Joe, we appreciate you filling in with us. We look forward to seeing you soon.
Absolutely. I look forward to seeing you guys as well.
Next week on the show, Mental Health Monday, Sarah Gish is returning for her monthly visit and will spotlight HCC's award-winning accounting team. Thanks for being here, folks. Happy Friday. Enjoy the weekend. We'll see you live 10 a.m. Monday morning with Up to the Minute.